Tyler, what are you doing? Hi everybody. I am logging in to show you guys the progress. I'm pretty much almost done. I have 3 left to install and I left them so I can do them on camera. I started last Sunday on Easter and I've had a pretty rough week at work, so I haven't been able to go as hard as I wanted to in getting them finished, but I am pretty much done. So I'm going to turn around and show you guys the back. Let me see what you guys are looking at. I have 3 back here that are like super duper long. My Diva lock is back again, if you remember that from my first set of locks. But I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna go over a little bit what I used and some challenges and different things I'm doing in this installation. So if you remember from the previous video that I had, this is a tool that I was using. On my last video, someone reminded me that I could either go to Marshall's or Joann's to get a smaller lock. So a smaller lock tool rather, the crochet hook. So I ran out and I grabbed this hook from, what was it, Joann's? Michael's didn't have it in store, they only had it online. Joann's actually had it in store. This is the 0.6 millimeter that I was talking about, and I took the one that I was using to kind of compare the sizes. This is roughly about 0.9 millimeters or so, and the 0.6 is super tiny, if you can see this at all. And it really does make a big difference when you go to do the instant lock method. So I want to say about maybe 1/3 of the back of my head is done with the bigger tool, but I am going to retighten it with the smaller tool. Now going between the two, I can definitely tell like the smaller tool was much faster, much more precise, gave me a lot more definition when it came to the way that the lock formed, and I love the smaller tool a whole lot. So I'm not going to talk too much in this video. I just really wanted to check in with you guys before doing like my whole edited video to show you guys different methods that I use and kind of talking about what I like versus what I do not like. There are about 2 or 3 different ways of doing it right now in my hair. 3 different ways that I did it, and like I said, once I moved from the back closer up to the front, I knew that I was going to come up with a method that I like better, and I would much more prefer having like the ones that are questionable to the back until they mature. So I even went back and I used to have 4 back here, but to me they felt kind of small, so I went back and I kind of I opened like 1 or 2 of them and made them a little bit thicker. So that's why I have it pinned down, because they're acting all types of crazy right now. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did. I have 3 left to do. I have them all parted out. I'm not really using any product. I started out using a product in the back, but once I got towards the front and further up, I didn't even use anything to twist it. So let's see. I'm going to start with the one all the way to the back. All I really did was do like a palm roll, not really a palm roll, like a finger twist to kind of get the roots twisted before this needs to go somewhere. Where the hell do you belong? You belong to me. Okay, so let me show you guys really quickly what I did. So I remember that I kind of palm roll. Would this be clockwise, counterclockwise? Whatever. That's how my palm roll went with my last set of locks, so I'm going to keep it the same way. So I'm going to twist it just a little bit, and I'm getting my tool. Let me tell you this, be very careful when you purchase this tool. I stabbed myself in the finger the very first night. I was in here doing my hair and Siler barked, scared the crap out of me, and this freaking tool was stuck in my finger up to here. When I tell you like all this was stuck in my finger, if I held my hand up like this, the tool was dangling from my finger. So freaking painful. I had to kind of twist it to like let go of the meat that was under my finger. It was horrible. So be very careful. You are going to stab yourself a few times getting into it. So I have the tool here, and all I'm going to do is just go in between, poke back and forth to get the hair tangled, and I'm going to move my hand down as I go. I'm also going to roll it a little bit so I can get all angles of my hair to turn it into a well-rounded lock. So I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. And at the same time, I'm making sure that I'm not over twisting the root of the lock. So I'm going back and forth with it. One thing that I noticed also, you can kind of alter between if you want to move the tool back and forth or if you actually want to move the hand with the lock in between it back and forth to kind of give yourself a break from hand to hand. One thing that I did notice also, I watched a few videos and I saw people, once they get down to the end, they kind of bend the lock against itself and interlock it back up against the body. And I tried that with the back of the lock, with the back section of my hair, and I absolutely did not like how it felt in the end. I remember with my first set of locks, anything that felt like a little ball down to the end, because it's hard to explain. This is a perfect one. So in most of the videos, when they got down to the end, what they did was they bent it back up and they started kind of crocheting it back and forth so that this would stay. But what that does is it gives you like a very thin part in your lock here, and then it bulbs. It has like a bulb at the end. And I remember with my first set of locks, any of my locks that felt like that, I like ripped off the ends. I hated that feeling. So I found a way to kind of make the ends not stringy like this, and also not have that little bit of like separation in the middle where your lock feels thinner than the end. So I'm going to show you guys that probably on one of these. As you can see, it's already starting to form right here. Already started to form. So I'm just going to do that all the way down until I get to the end, and then I'll go back up and do a little bit of the root, because you can see right now it's untwisting as I go, which isn't a problem for me because it's all going to get locked in the end. Just stabbed myself. My finger is, when I tell you, like, my thumb is torn up. That's from work, but whew, my thumb went through it. How many are? I'm already 7 minutes in on this video. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but when I parted everything out, I had 93 all together. And I went back and I combined a few, so I'm under 93 right now. I don't know how many I'm going to have in the end, because I do want to go back and make a few more of them a little bit thicker. So tell me in the bottom, how many of you, like, how many locks do you think I'm going to have when I'm all said and done this whole process? Put a guess down below and let me know how many you think I'm going to have. All right, so that's pretty much it for this one. Getting the form going. So I'm just going back up here. I notice when I go back up towards my roots, it's a little bit more difficult. My hair from the roots is a little bit more straight compared to the hair at the end. So let me show you guys what it looks like so far. Now this is the part I was talking about, where people would normally get the bottom of this, bend it up, and then crochet this back. Now I don't like to do that. What I like to do is I actually, please don't die, I need my charger. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Watch out, Siler. Watch out. It's the only thing about being live. You get to see every single thing. Are you gonna reach? Yes? Yes, perfect. So, like I was saying, when I get down to the end, what I do is I actually open up the base of that lock. I spread the hair out that's at the base of it, spread that out, and I let all of it go back against the body. What this does is it creates an even butt on the end, and it doesn't give me any type of weak spot where it's thinner than the other, because all the hair that I was crocheting down, I'm now taking the extra hair at the end, pulling it back up against the body, and making everything nice and even and symmetrical. So I pull it back up, hold it against itself and just crochet. But this time I'm not going directly into the lock. I'm staying more on the surface. So along the edges of the lock, because that's where the hair that I need to get interlocked or crochet, that's where that hair is. So I'm going from the edges of it instead of directly in the center. And I'm going around the entire lock to get everything in there. Boop, boop. Once I get the edges, I end up going back into the center of the lock too to pull it in. But I'll be able to show you what it looks like in the end. And I like this method a whole lot. It might not bother some people, but like I said in my previous video, I am such like a little perfectionist, and it bothers me if I feel anything other than a uniform lock the entire way. And I want to see if I can find one to compare the difference and let you see. That way you can kind of decide which method is going to work better for you if you decide to do this at all. So if you can see here, one thing about this is it does take away a little bit from your lens, and for me that doesn't matter, because in the end I would have been clipping those ends off anyway, so I much rather do it like this. So you get pretty much the same idea where it's like a little bulb on the bottom, as opposed to like, where is this one, where it's not like a little coil or fuzz. So you get this at the end. Now let me see if I can't really find one right now, because I think I might have clipped a lot of them. Yeah, this one is, I know this one is gonna bother the hell out of me with time. So this one right here, I don't know if you can kind of see the difference. Right in between here is where it gives you that little thin spot, and then it gives you this ball to the end. That is gonna bother the hell out of me. So I know I'm gonna either like take this out right now and do it in the method I just showed you, because this method where you bend it up against the body of the lock does not work for me at all. So all this right here, do you see that? You kind of compare how this one looks to this one. So that's the method that I thought of when I was doing it myself, and I'm like, well, let me try something else to see if it works other than bending it against itself, because I was not feeling that method at all. So that's pretty much it for the way I seal the ends, and I love the way it feels. It just feels like the entire lock is uniform from root to base. Don't have any weak spots or thin spots that I'm going to have to worry about later going back and trimming them or anything like that. Now that I'm here, I'm going to have to do some interlock into the roots. I can't seem to catch anything else with this needle to get it tangled, so I'm not going to work on it too much and poke myself and my fingers, because it's going right through that hair, being that it's a little bit less coarse than see, that's what I'm talking about. It's not worth it. So when I get to that point, shiznit, crochet tool, which is not my favorite. I've been using a hairpin that's kind of like twisted. Where is it? Siler, you got to get out of the bathroom because I'm tripping over you. Go. Thank you. I've been using a hairpin. You guys are getting everything live, and I do apologize, but not really. So hairpin, let's get a big old hairpin. You get a hairpin, big one. You kind of round it at the top. Then all you do is twist the bottom so it turns into like a little loop with a handle. Finger gets stuck in it, so it looks basically like this. Now I like this a lot better compared to this tool, because like I said before, I always end up getting my hair caught. So let me see if I can. Nah, it's not even worth it. It's not worth it. So I'm gonna go to the back, pull it through. I'm gonna go down. Come on, baby, work with me. And I noticed you also have to be very careful when you're doing this, the interlocking, because if you go too far through and go through to another lock, you're gonna end up connecting them. And I did that quite a few times, and it made me very angry. So last one, I'm gonna go from the bottom, pull it through, and just let that sit there. So that's pretty much how I did all of my hair. I'm just going to finish up these last two, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to worry about making it a little bit more neat at the base, but that's not my main concern. My main concern for now was getting everything locked. So I just have to do these two, and I'm pretty much done as far as getting them locked, and then I'll come back to you guys with a more informational video letting you know what tools I used, where you can get them, which I already talked about, the prices, different methods. Different methods, and then also some do's and don'ts as you go through. Yeah, this, no, that's not one. As you go through making decisions as to how to interlock, how to do the instant lock method, what to use, what not to use, how big to make your parts depending on the size that you want, and then pretty much maintaining it. So I am pretty much content with everything. I love the size. I love how it worked out. It didn't take as long. I think if my work week wasn't as rough, I definitely could have had this done sooner. But I was very patient with it. I wanted it to turn out a certain way. I'm going to go back through and tighten up the ones that I did with the bigger crochet hook to make them a little bit more refined compared to how it is to the front. And I think I'll be satisfied from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. I'm excited. I look crazy as hell right now. And let me tell you something, guys. I found a gray hair. I found a freaking gray hair, and I'm not pulling it out. Can you see it? It's like right there. I thought it was cat hair, but I tugged at it. Now, see, this is cat hair right here. And this is what we not gonna do. This is a problem that I'm gonna face with having a freaking cat and locks, because I didn't have a cat before when I had my locks the last time. But look at my little gray hair. It's right there. I'm leaving it. Maybe it'll turn into a little gray patch. I like it. All right, guys, I am gonna get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna go. Oh crap, there was a young lady that was on one of my last videos, and I told her, where's the book? I told her that I would show her the book. This is totally off topic, but I promised that I would do this. I can't remember your name, but when I was studying for my Me-Anies, this is the book that I use. My friend ordered it online, and she got finished with it, took her test and passed, so I bought it off of her. I think it was probably like between $20 and $30. This is a book that I use. It helped me a lot. I'll talk about it a little bit more in my next video, because I totally forgotten this one. Don't want to be on here too much longer. It's almost been about 20 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video. Still have to do a review on this case that I'm using, the goat case. What is it called? This, I can't remember. It's like the nanotechnology. If I could here, look, let me show you guys right now. Dirty mirrors, forgive me, but as you can see, my phone is stuck to my mirror and I'm recording for you guys. This case has been wonderful. It helped me so much while I was doing my hair. While I was sitting here doing my hair, it was actually stuck to my mirror while I was watching like all these different shows to help pass time. So I love this phone case, and thank God it didn't fall from the mirror while I was sitting in here doing my hair. All right, guys, until next time, keep rising. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think as far as the number of locks I'm going to have in the end. Give me a guess. I really want to know what you guys think. I'm going to go see if I can find some of my lock beads from my locks before and get my diva lock started again. All right, guys, keep rising. Bye.